Much for waking up with us right here on the Pix 11 Morning News. I'm Vanessa Freeman.
And I'm Craig Treadway. Let's get this Friday started, shall we, with a look at your weather and your traffic. Julie Millay standing by with more on the morning's commute.
And meteorologist Stacy Ann Gooden bringing all the sparkle on this Friday morning.
Yeah, baby.
Yes, it's so sparkly. You can look up and see, you know, pretty clear sky out there. And with that said, with the clear sky, light winds, and a little moisture in the Hudson Valley, there is now a frost advisory that's been issued from 2 until 9. So that goes until 9 a.m. So just a heads up there. If you happen to be out and about, traveling to or from Orange County, here a look at temperature readings. Walden 40, Washingtonville, Chester at 33, 34, Montgomery 34, Port Jervis, just to give you an idea. So we're close to the actual dew point temperatures. As those air temperatures get to the dew point temperatures, you have a little bit of that recipe for frost to develop, and even at times a little fog as well. So a little moisture there. Winds are pretty light. Look at that calm across the Hudson Valley. A little bit of a breeze. Northerly flow, 14 miles per hour if you're in New York. A little less as you head further east. And satellite and radar, dry conditions right now. Here's a look at your planner. Only topping out in the 60s, and the winds are going to pick up later on, by the way. I'm going to send it over to Julie Millay now.
Expect some delays on your George Washington Bridge. We have construction happening on the upper level in both directions right now. You can see a little bit of a slow go of it there through the tolls this morning over on your GWB. And outbound as well, we do have 8095 southbound local lanes closed. That's from exit 72 to the New Jersey Turnpike, affecting traffic there this morning. Your alternate side parking rules are suspended today. Craig and Vanessa, back over to you.
And we begin with breaking news this morning. A fire on Beaumont Avenue in the Bronx leaves one.
Taking a look, 50 degrees, Central Park, 61% humidity, winds out of the north-northeast, a light breeze. Now, here's the deal. Jet stream has risen, has kind of made its way north, so it's allowing for that warmer air, right? But here's what's going to happen. We're going to tweak this a little bit because this weekend it's going really right back down, and then rinse and repeat, because by next week again, by like mid to later in the week, Summerfield will be back temperatures well into the 70s, close to 80 even. But here's the next 3 days, 64 today, so it'll be nice and cool, still slightly above average. I consider this seasonable. We're within a couple degrees, and then a little bit of a bump up, breezy, cool for the weekend. There is a cold front that's going to come through, and you're going to notice the chill really setting in on Sunday morning as well as Monday morning. So we're going to take a closer look at the extended outlook, and we're going to talk about why it's been so dry. We're trending driest October's on record here, and October's done by next week. We're going to send it over to Julie Millay with a look at traffic now.
Yeah, we're talking about your Hudson River crossings at 412 this morning. You got a live look here at your Holland Tunnel. Pretty quiet over there. We do have the typical construction situation happening there. We are closed outbound to New Jersey. Inbound, we have one lane open to New York. Over at your Lincoln, we have North 2 construction happening right now. Your George, with all that construction on the upper level, about 20 minutes for your ride there. That's a quick check of your morning commute. Craig and Vanessa, back over to you.
Julie, thank you. Pinpointing the cause of the deadly E. coli outbreak at McDonald's.
We have the very latest on the potential source of the contamination.
Doesn't seem to be going as planned.
Friday morning, time to look outside, check our weather and traffic.
Julie Millay checking on the roads for us in just a moment. But first, let's head over to meteorologist Stacy Ann Gooden. Let's really talk about it. I mean, you don't need the coats, but the fall fashions.
You say you don't need the coat? I want my winter coat.
This weekend, right?
This weekend?
Yes, break out the fall fashions.
Yes, layers.
Yeah, layers.
And, get your tights, that kind of thing, because you want to stay nice and...
tights.
Yes, your tights, Craig. I know you have them in all colors. Just make sure you have them on standby.
Not since that near-fatal tight accident I had years ago.
Yeah, we don't want to be reminded of that.
It's horrible.
But here's a reminder for you. We have that brush fire statement that's been issued by the National Weather Service for Connecticut as well as New Jersey. We have a low humidity, gusty winds. It's adding fuel to the fire when we have all these dry leaves. Now remember, reason for that, the fact that it's been dry, of course. Well, the Gulf has been dry. We haven't really been tapping into the moisture despite the southwesterly breezes earlier on. So because the air is so dry, despite those cold fronts coming in, it wasn't really packing a lot of moisture. But during the early morning hours and the overnight periods, notice 92% humidity, 73% relative humidity there in White Plains, 66 Farmingdale. So you may look at this and say, oh, well, it's not that dry. We're not close to saturation. But later on this afternoon, this is when those numbers will come down. So this increases the threat when humidity levels are low and those winds will pick up. So winds gusting into the teens right now, they're pretty light, but eventually it'll be like near 20 miles per hour. So keep this in mind. Use care when disposing and using flammable items. Avoid open burning, because this time of year people like to burn leaves and whatnot just to kind of reduce a lot of the leaves around the home. And speaking of home, you want to make sure the surrounded areas is clean and free of combustible items, because that can allow things to spread quickly. So you don't want to do that. Right now, though, temperature-wise, we are in the 40s and around 50s. So temperature readings Sunday, Monday morning, I'm telling you now, you'll need that winter coat for sure, but climbing into the 70s by Halloween, which is Thursday, close to 80. We'll send it over to Julie Millay now.
421. This map showing a couple of things happening right now. Over on your George Washington Bridge, we've talked about this. We got that construction on the upper level, about a 20-minute ride across your George this morning. Now, nearby on the Cross Bronx Expressway westbound at the George Washington Bridge, we do have a disabled vehicle there. Now, we also have something working eastbound near exit 2, Webster Avenue. We're not quite sure if it's a crash, a disabled vehicle, or something going on out there. We're going to work to figure that out, but these are all things that are going to affect your ride this morning. If you're taking the subway, here's what will affect your ride. We got planned track work happening on all of these lines right now, but that should wrap up by 5 o'clock this morning, so less than an hour away. And over on your railroads, everything looking good. Your Metro North, LIRR, NJ Transit, and your PATH train all on or close to schedule right now. Your alternate side parking rules are suspended again today, though you do still have to feed the meter. Vanessa and Craig, back over to you.
All right, thanks for the heads up, Julie.
30s and 40s and 50 in New York City, so it is a little milder in the city versus areas north and west. Look at the big drop off, as I mentioned yesterday. Temperatures a good 20 degrees cooler, about 14 in New York City, 17 Poughkeepsie, 25, even more than 20 degrees in Montgomery, 6 in Brookhaven. A look at what's happening later on today. Plenty of sunshine to go around, but we will have some clouds developing ahead of a front. We'll talk about that front and what it will mean for your weekend. Sending it over to Julie Millay now.
All right, let's take a look at your FDR Drive this morning. Pretty quiet out there, dark and early at 4:32 this morning. No problems out there to report right now. If you're taking the subway today, let's take a look at what lines are affected by this planned overnight track work. All of these lines that you see here on your screen, if you want to take a quick peek, we're expecting that to wrap up by 5 o'clock this morning. And your railroads right now, everything looking good there. Your alternate side parking rules are suspended. That's a quick check of your morning commute. Vanessa and Craig, back over to you.
All right. Well, the NYPD this morning on the hunt for two men who they say shot and killed a 16-year-old boy.
Please go ahead. It's still not too late to go pumpkin picking. Certainly a great thing to do just before Halloween arrives.
Looking nice over here. Westchester bound side, Rockland bound side, moving smoothly over the Hudson this morning. Over in Connecticut, a few spots not moving so smoothly. We have overnight construction on your Merritt Parkway southbound. That's by exit 40 Main Avenue to exit 37. Some slight delays there because of that southbound construction. And then over on your Turnpike 95 through the Norwalk area, we do have construction happening southbound there as well. That's exit 16 to exit 15 right now. That's a quick check of your morning commute. Vanessa and Craig, back over to you.
Julie, thank you so much. 4:42 and still to come, preventing future cases of domestic violence. That is the goal of a new expanded program on Long Island. We're taking a closer look.
Plus, Yankees led
Outside, check our weather and traffic on this Friday.
Yep, Julie Millay with more on the commute this morning, and meteorologist Stacy Ann Gooden with the cool start to the day.
Cool start indeed. If you haven't gotten your winter coat out of storage, you're going to need to do so. I needed mine this morning. Yeah, I know you didn't have yours, Craig, because you're still like holding out. I know. You know, guys tend to, trend a little warmer. And if you want, just add layers. And that's the best way to go because you can shed them as you go. Trace them out yesterday. That's what we got. Still no measurable rain this October. And we're still trending, topping the #1 spot. I mean, that was the last set in like 1963. So it looks like we just may get there because we don't see any major rain events between now and the end of the month. Abnormally dry conditions highlighted in yellow. That includes the 5 boroughs north and west of the city, Long Island, including Nassau, Suffolk, and toward Brooklyn. And then south, I mean, places like Ocean County, southern Monmouth County. We are dealing with a moderate or severe drought in this case. So we're really moisture starved. It doesn't look like we're going to get there For the time being. Satellite and radar showing this cold front that's going to be sliding on through. It's set to arrive tomorrow morning, but it's really not going to spark much in the way of showers. Ahead of it, though, we'll get some clouds, and here's proof of that as we push this forward. There we go. See how it quickly moves through, and then it's clear after that. We'll have a mixture of sun and clouds. In the morning hours, those more clouds will come through and then dissipate and then clearing out. It looks like some showers want to materialize north of the city, but really not going to amount to much. If anything, we're not really getting nothing. Pair of fours in Mount Kisco, White Plains, Scarsdale. Wider view of things, we're in the upper 30s, low 40s, so some areas close to that freezing mark. Afternoon highs were in the 60s, and then for tonight, again, not as chilly, but certainly much cooler when you compare this morning and tomorrow morning. There's that low pressure system sliding through because it's been so rebounding to the 70s, near 80 by Halloween. We'll send it over to Julie now.
Thank you so much, Stacy Ann. 4:51, live look outside here at your Grand Central Parkway. Everything moving nicely out there this morning, out by the airport. Things looking good there. Over on your subways, we are checking out this planned track work. These are the lines affected overnight, but this should all wrap up within the next 10 minutes or so. So just take a quick peek, see if your line's here on the screen, and if you might need to give yourself a few extra minutes. Over on your railroads, everything looking good there. Metro North, LARR, and J Transit in the path, all running on or close right now. Your alternate side parking rules are suspended today. You do still have to feed the meter. Craig and Vanessa?
All right, well, owning a home in today's economy might seem impossible.
Right now, it's pretty clear and staying clear with some clouds developing throughout the day. We'll talk about that. Temperatures low to mid 60s mainly. We'll send it over to Julie Millay now with a look at your traffic.
5:02, we still have delays at your George Washington Bridge of about 20 minutes, but we're expecting that to ease up in just a little bit as they work to clear out that overnight construction. You can see things moving okay here, slowly but surely through the tolls at your GWB this morning. Over we go to your Southern State Parkway, though. We do have a crash there to report. That's eastbound after exit 22 lanes blocked there, and you can see some slight eastbound delays building up on your map this morning. Your alternate side parking rules are once again suspended today. You do still have to feed the meter. Craig and Vanessa?
Warmer than average, which is nice.
Yes, we're a little bit up in the high category of daytime temperatures. And then this morning, temperatures will actually fall. Oh, we're already seeing it fall into the upper 40s, so close to where we should be this time of year. But it's during the afternoon hours, it's warmer than normal. And when you factor in it's just been so dry, we really don't have any evaporative cooling taking shape. So that's a part of the reason why we're probably seeing some of these temperatures skyrocket, in addition to a southwest flow that we've seen develop, but that's going to change eventually. That chillier air coming into play, but the roller coaster ride by next week will be back into the 70s. So here's a look at temperature reading: 64 degrees, a mixture of sun and clouds, a chilly start. Not as chilly tomorrow morning, however. When that cold front passes, it'll bring in some clouds, but eventually much chillier conditions. So we're going to struggle to get to 60 by Sunday. So that's really when the cooler air and the chill will set in, but only to be replaced with milder conditions by midweek. We'll send it over to Julie now with an update.
Thank you so much, Stacy Ann. 5:12 now.
Properly. So relative humidity very high right now, 92% Montgomery. Don't forget, in Orange County there is a frost advisory. So there is some moisture in the air, especially north and west, but by this afternoon that moisture goes down. So we are a lot less closer to saturation. 27% in the city, 34 Belmar, 50 Islip, 35 Newburgh. So just look at Nassau, Suffolk, for instance. It is a little higher in comparison to points north and west of there. So just keep that in mind. With those winds gusting into the teens and even 20s later on this afternoon, it will increase that threat. So that's something to be mindful of. And here are some important safety tips to consider. Avoid open burning. This time of year, people like to burn leaves. You want to avoid that completely, especially during the day when the levels are much lower. Also, keep your area around your home nice and clean, especially combustible free from fire. Those fire-resistant materials are very, very important. And use care, as I mentioned, when disposing and using flammable items. So look right now, temperature-wise, we're in the upper 40s, low 50s across the area. Winds are light and variable, will become breezy later on today. So we already dipped like a degree just within the last hour or so. Winds mainly out of the north. We're waiting on that cold front to come through. It's not packing a lot of moisture. Remember, normally this time of year, we like to tap into the moisture from the Gulf, but there is no moisture. If you notice, hurricane season has died down a little bit, although not over, but just something to watch out for. Temperatures in the Sound Sunday, Monday, but climbing right back up by midweek. We'll send it over to Julie now.
522, we're giving you a live look at Route 3 out in New Jersey. Everything moving nicely here by the Meadowlands this morning. No problems out there right now. Dark and early, everything's looking good. Over we go for a look here on your ferries this morning. Everything out on the water is on or close to schedule this morning. We do want to let our NYC ferry riders know that there's possible increased ridership on your NYC ferry Red Hook area because of a cruise ship nearby. Over on your rails, everything running on or close to schedule there as well. Your alternate side parking rules are suspended today. Craig and Vanessa, back over to you.
All right, Julie, thank you for those updates. 522 and still to come, a hidden gem for those who fly out of New Jersey ready for May.
The chilly start. Grab the layers. Going to be key. Update in 5 minutes. Back to you guys.
All right, Stacy Ann. Well, for those avoiding the chaos of Newark Airport, Trenton Mercer Airport is a good option, and now improvements are on the way.
Absolutely. The small airport, which has a terminal dating back to the
commute, but let's head over to meteorologist Stacy Ann Gooden with more on the Friday weather.
Thank you so much, guys. And we're off to a pretty chilly start. Not as chilly as it's going to be come Sunday, Monday morning, but I just want to give you a heads up. Make sure you bundle up before you head outside. Very important. For the month of October so far, we've only gotten a trace amount of rain. We are definitely in need of some rain, and we're not going to get some. It looks like this front that's coming through, it's going to be on the drier side. So we're at the #1 spot. Still driest October on record, and that will remain the case for the time being. It doesn't look like rain even into next week. It looks pretty dry. And speaking of which, we are abnormally dry, as you can see highlighted in yellow, at a deficit by almost 3.5 inches since the month of October, and then over 6 inches since September 1st. That's how much rain we haven't gotten. Well, we need to kind of bridge that gap. Satellite and radar dry conditions right now. High pressure will remain in control. There's that front that I'm talking about just off to our west. With that high situated off to our southwest, is going to keep things dry for us and keep that rain away for the time being. But what's going to happen ahead of that front? A few clouds may be scraping through. So, and the same will ring true as we head into Saturday. A few clouds and then we clear out. Behind that front, northwest winds will pick up. It'll be a little bit on the breezy side, so count on it being a little bit gusty. Temperatures right now, we're in the 40s, Poughkeepsie 32, Brewster, Ossining. Looks like Gardner's asleep right now, but we're in the 30s there as well. Afternoon highs mainly in the low to mid 60s, a little bit above where we should be. Overnight temperatures back down into the 50s, and that's nothing compared to what we'll see early next week. So high returning thereafter, and here's a by next week, even 70s and close to 80 by Halloween. We'll send it over to Julie.
Stacy Ann, thank you so much. We're giving you a live look at Route 3 in New Jersey for the start of this traffic update. Everything moving good in this spot. No issues to report right now. Over on your western spur, we do have some construction clearing there northbound, affecting your New Jersey Turnpike by exit 16W right now. You can see those delays building up there on your Turnpike northbound. Now, over we go to check your subways. We are seeing delays right now on your A and your shuttle. Those delays happening in both directions because the South Channel Bridge is currently open for marine traffic. So just give yourself a few extra minutes if those are either of your lines this morning. Over we go to check your rails. Metro North, LIRR, NJ Transit, and your Path all running on or close right now. And your alternate side parking rules are suspended today. Craig and Vanessa, back over to you.
All right, well, owning a home in today's economy might seem impossible, but an affordable housing lottery like Treadway.
Good morning. Happy Friday. I'm Vanessa Freeman, and you are never more than 10 minutes away from a look at your weather and traffic. Julie Millay holding down the roads and the rails, and meteorologist Stacy Ann Gooden getting us ready for our weekend forecast.
Oh, my goodness. I can't believe 6 days left of
I know,
October.
right?
It's so wild. The year is over.
A little nuts.
Yeah, forget it. Let's
over.
fast forward to next year.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
It goes quickly after that, I tell you. And it's been dry. I mean, abnormally dry for us across the tri-state. And even further south you go, we have this drought situation. Orange County, a little moisture there, which is helping, but it's causing some frost in Orange County. As we mentioned before, Walden at 39, Washingtonville we at 33, 30. Now we're below freezing in Port Jervis. In some areas, even that freezing conditions have to contend with, including Montgomery. So with the dew point temperatures being so close to the air temperatures, you got the frost developing, you have light winds. It's also aiding in allowing that to happen as well. So here's a look ahead. Humidity levels will drop, sending the kids off to school. 40s, make sure they bundle up. Shed some layers by this afternoon. That's it for now. Julie, over to you.
Good morning. At 6:02, we have your typical westbound slowdowns here in your Cross Bronx Expressway. You can see here in this camera shot, things moving, just a little bit of a slow go of it there on your Cross Bronx right now. Over we go to check out the turnpike there on your Eastern Spur northbound, your Northern Mixing Bowl, the left.
Yeah, that's right.
That's smart. All right, Justin, thank you so much. Both outdoor events, Stacy Ann.
I realize that.
Yeah.
It's a good thing he said that, because if I was going, I mean, I'd be
Bundle up.
like, yeah, bundle up. And don't forget the hat. Justin, where's your hat at? And your gloves. I mean, the scarf is optional, but his thing comes all the way up. He's probably like, come on, Stacy, stop giving me a hard time. All right, so I give you guys a hard time because I want you guys to be safe, of course. 48 degrees. You went down another degree at Central Park. 66% humidity. And the roller coaster ride, we've been talking about these temperature swings. It's going to continue. So right now we're still a little bit above, but that dip in the jet stream will really get underway. So this weekend you're definitely going to feel the chill, especially Sunday and Monday morning, because those temperatures will fall into the 30s and 40s like they kind of are right now. But by midweek next week, it's going right back up that jet stream. Here's a look at your getaway forecast. Hampton, 61 degrees. For today, we're in the upper 50s, Lake George, Poconos, but it does get a little bit nicer as we head into Saturday, despite that cold front, but I'll tell you what to expect for the remainder of the 7-day. Let's talk about traffic now with Julie.
Yeah, we're talking about your Hudson River crossings, giving you a look at your crossing times this morning. Here's a live look at the George. Things moving along there. 5 minutes at your George, and same story across your Lincoln and your Holland as well. Smooth rides across the Hudson, no matter which route you take this morning. That's a quick check of your morning commute. Craig and Vanessa, back over to you.
Well, the presidential race
Get higher than that, close to around 20 miles per hour in some cases. So in addition to being careful of how you dispose of flammable items, avoid open burning. There are laws regarding that, so you have to definitely look into that, especially burning during the day when the levels are lower, the humidity levels, that is. And as far as any items around your area that can be combustible and allow fire to spread, you want to make sure things are clear around the circumference of your home as well. Some people live in wooded areas, and that can allow for fire to ignite and spread quickly. So definitely heed the warning, guys. Temperatures in the 40s, close to 50 Sheepshead Bay, Ozone Park. Winds are light and variable, at times mainly out of the northwest. 48 in the city, 40s in Nassau and Suffolk County. Cooler, chillier out north and west of the city, and there's that line, that cold front that's going to be coming through. Ahead of it, some clouds will develop, but that's it. These conditions will kind of fall apart. It's moisture starved. Temperatures in the mid to upper 60s, especially around New Jersey. It'll be a little bit higher in comparison. Neptune City, 66, 64 if you're in Poughkeepsie, Cold Spring, a little bit forecast. Very chilly Sunday, Monday especially. Then it warms up Wednesday, Thursday. We'll send it over to you, Julie.
6:20, like we said, your FDR drive looking nice this morning. No issues to report. You can see the cars out there moving right along this morning along your east side of Manhattan right now. Over we go to check out your west side highway, I should say, southbound after 125th Street. Your left lane is blocked there, and you can see those delays building up on your west side highway this morning. So the east side looking good, the west side not so much right now. Over we go to check your ferries right now, and those are all looking good. We are expecting some increased ridership over on your NYC ferry in the Red Hook area because of a cruise ship that is stationed nearby. Otherwise, everything looking on or close right now. As far as your railroads go, Metro North, LIRR, and J Transit, and your PATH train, all of those on or close to schedule for your Friday morning commute. Your alternate side parking rules are suspended today. Craig and Vanessa, back over to you.
All right, Julie. Well, you know, when
It will make every
Drop off at Montgomery, 22, Poughkeepsie, 18, White Plains, 14, New York City, as well as Farmingdale, 22, Caldwell. We'll have a look at the temperatures. We got some highs and we really got some lows. We'll send it over to Julie Millay now.
All right, at 6:31, we're taking a live look at your West Side Highway. We have a crash southbound on your West Side Highway after 125th Street, causing some pretty bad delays southbound there on the West Side Highway this morning. These delays going almost all the way back to the George Washington Bridge this morning, so that will affect your ride. The east side, at the last check, the FDR Drive, looking pretty good, so that could be a good alternate as you make your way out the door this morning. Over we go to your subways now. The A and the B are both seeing delays right now because of a mechanical issue as well as a door issue. That's a quick check of your morning commute. Craig and Vanessa, back over to you. Ik ben niet ervoor. First issue and with your work and music. Right, you look me off at the now from the area that's in block when you're so this end of them or you get your face because you're boom up where I'm real values are fine every year it's nice it's comes here. Let me lose the wing between your own mix up and back smash in your own midness. Now you get all powers and give Mr. Fish this one your arms but my middle. So I'll can ask what you can be this guy her your pro feet get side your fatty with this that have mix next so again which is less so girl what give your yeah he's the see 50 middle zero for but in the was this arm that's that over master on the little what's these and that's arm that's not call let's get that that's nice. Well, one of us here will be she was so close now. Homerown, her husband, a whiskers are open and nails. There's the rest of these scraps, heroes that are whiskers. Helish says the nailer for research under your over smoke. And I was like, the nailer for some snow. Obviously, it's no such as a airs. She's hard in the gator of the face. And explore Susie and Fast Snare from me. Bang,
This event went beyond commemorating the championship. It was a moment for the community to come together and celebrate a historic moment that will be remembered for years to come. Outside Barclays Center, Janae Caldwell, PIX 11 News.
So well deserved.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful to see yesterday. All
Yes,
that
it
ticker
was.
tape. I'm pretty sure. Is there still some left out there? They
No.
cleaned it all up.
You know what? They're pretty good at cleaning that stuff up.
They are
I don't know.
good at
magicians.
cleaning it up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The way they clean up Times Square is just that blows my mind.
And in record time
Yeah.
too, because then the next morning, like, whoa, did something happen around
Yeah.
here? You can't even tell. Thank you so much, guys. All right, when you look at the month of October, I mean, we're still running on a pretty dry streak, shattering records. It looks like it's going to be the driest October on record. When you look at temperature readings, we had 18 days above average, and then you look at below category, we had 6 days of below temperature readings, but we're at a surplus by almost 4 degrees to be exact. And as far as rain is concerned, we had a big deficit, almost 3.5 inches. Look at that. It's clear. Yesterday we had a trace amount. It's not measurable. So we had no measurable rainfall. The last time was like September 29th. So it's been a minute. So far, nothing going on here. Trace amount of rain so far for the month of October. Drought monitor, abnormally dry, highlighted in yellow. And then it gets even dry as you make your way further south and toward New Jersey and west as well. So big deficit since September 1st. As we can see now, satellite radar, dry conditions. We're hoping that this cold front brings along some added moisture, but it doesn't look like it. We have a couple high pressure systems that's also going to steer things along and keep the rain away, coupled with the fact that it's been quiet in the Gulf. Normally there's a lot of moisture building in the Gulf, and that adds to the moisture being transverse or transitioning in toward the areas of low pressure systems that we have. So it's not really tapping into that moisture because there's nothing there. And with that said, we just have some clouds. That's it. That's what we'll get from this. A few clouds to start as we head into Saturday morning, and then it'll quickly clear out. Winds out of the northwest. I tell you what, though, that cold front will bring along cooler conditions and gusty winds as well. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Governor was still working on that. We're in the 30s there as well. White Plains 43. Afternoon temperatures in the 60s, and then back down to the upper 40s, low to mid 50s, and that's not even the chilliest. Let's take a look now at our I'd say Sunday, Monday morning, and then temperatures rebounding into the 60s and 70s, and possibly near or around 80 by Halloween. Julie?
6:51. Welcome back to your PIX 11 traffic center. Over on your west side, high
Temperatures rebounding into the 60s and 70s, and possibly near or around 80 by Halloween. Julie?
6:51. Welcome back to your PIX 11 traffic center. Over on your west side highway, we do have a crash after 125th Street in the southbound side, blocking a left lane and causing some pretty massive delays here. You can see them on the map, but to give you a better look, we're going to go to Air 11 high above the sky to give you a bird's eye view route as you head out the door this morning. Back out here to our map, we're going to move along and show you your subways to give you an idea of what your commute's looking like there. Your A, your B, your Q, and your shuttle this morning, all dealing with delays right now. We have a mechanical issue as well as a door issue affecting all of these lines. Your alternate side parking rules are suspended today for the Jewish holiday. You still have to feed the meter, though. Craig and Vanessa, back over to you.
All right, Julie. Well, new scanning technology at city subways intended to intercept